You watch English movies without subtitles, you understand your favorite YouTubers, you can read articles and emails, but when someone asks you a question in English, you freeze. Your mind goes blank. Does this sound like you?
If it does, you're not alone. Thousands of people face this exact problem every single day.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something that frustrates so many learners. Why can you understand English perfectly but struggle to speak it?
And more importantly, we'll show you exactly why this happens and what you can do about it. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the real reason behind this gap and how to start closing it.
So let's just jump right in. I have to ask, is this even normal? I mean, how can someone understand a language but not speak it?
It's completely normal. In fact, it's one of the most common experiences for language learners everywhere. Understanding and speaking are two very different skills.
Wait, different skills? Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. Think about it this way. Understanding is passive. When you listen or read, the words come to you. Your brain just needs to recognize them. But speaking is active. You have to create the words yourself. You have to choose them, arrange them, and say them out loud. That takes much more effort.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's like recognizing a song versus singing it yourself.
Exactly. You can recognize a song easily, but singing it, remembering the lyrics, hitting the right notes, that's much harder.
Right. So when I'm listening to someone speak English, my brain is just matching the sounds to words I already know.
Yes, and your brain is very good at this. It can guess meaning from context, it can fill in gaps. It doesn't need to be perfect.
But when I try to speak, I have to think about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything at once.
Exactly, and that's where people get stuck. They put pressure on themselves to be perfect. They worry about making mistakes, so they stay silent.
I've definitely felt that. It's like my brain knows what I want to say, but my mouth just won't cooperate.
That's a perfect way to describe it, and there's actually a reason for that too.
Really? What is it?
Your brain has stored a lot of English knowledge. You've heard words, phrases, grammar patterns, but most of that knowledge is in your passive memory. It's there, but it's not ready to use quickly.
Passive memory. What does that mean?
It means you can recognize something when you see or hear it, but you can't recall it on your own when you need it. It's like knowing someone's face but forgetting their name.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Right, so in English, you might understand the word disappointed when you hear it, but when you want to express that feeling yourself, you can't remember the word. You might say sad instead, because that word is in your active memory.
So active memory is the words I can actually use when I speak.
Exactly. And here's the key point. Most learners spend years building passive knowledge through listening and reading, but they spend very little time building active knowledge through speaking and writing.
That's me. I watch English content every day, but I hardly ever practice speaking.
And that's the gap. You've trained your ears and eyes, but not your mouth.
Okay, this is starting to make a lot of sense, but why is speaking so much scarier than listening?
Fear plays a huge role. When you speak, you're exposing yourself. You're showing people what you know and what you don't know. That makes you feel vulnerable.
Yeah, I always worry people will judge me for my accent or my grammar mistakes.
Most people won't, but that fear is very real, and it stops people from practicing, which is the only way to improve.
So it's like a cycle. I don't speak because I'm afraid, and because I don't speak, I never get better.
Exactly. It's a trap, and many people stay in it for years.
That's really sad. So how do we break out of it?
We'll get to that in a moment, but first, let me share a quick story that might help you see yourself in this situation.
I'd love to hear it.
A few years ago, I met a young woman named Mira. She was applying for jobs after finishing university. Her resume was great, her grades were excellent, and she could read and write English very well.
Sounds like she was doing everything right.
On paper, yes, but she failed 3 job interviews in a row. All of them were in English.
Oh no, what happened?
She told me that during the interviews, she understood every question perfectly. She knew the answers in her head, but when she tried to speak, the words wouldn't come out. She stuttered, she paused too long, she used the wrong words, and the interviewers thought she wasn't confident or qualified.
That must have been so frustrating for her.
It was. She felt like all her hard work was wasted. She even thought about giving up on English completely.
But she didn't, right?
No, she realized the problem wasn't her English knowledge, it was her lack of speaking practice. So she started speaking out loud every single day, even when she was alone.
Alone? What did she do?
She talked to herself. She described her day, she answered imaginary interview questions, she even recorded herself and listened back.
That sounds a bit awkward at first.
It was, but after a few weeks, something changed. Her brain started to recall words faster, her sentences became smoother, she felt more confident.
And did she get a job?
She did. A month later, she had another interview, and this time she spoke clearly and confidently. She got the offer.
Wow, so speaking practice really made that much difference.
It did, because she moved her knowledge from passive to active. She trained her brain to use English, not just recognize it.
I love that story. It's really motivating. So what can someone do if they're in Mira's situation right now?
Great question. Let me give you some very practical steps. These are simple and anyone can start today.
Perfect, I'm ready.
First, talk to yourself in English every day. I know it sounds strange, but it works. Describe what you're doing, talk about your plans, explain your feelings. It doesn't have to be perfect.
So even if I'm just cooking or getting ready in the morning, I can practice.
Absolutely. You can say things like, I'm cutting the onion now, it smells strong, I need to wash my hands. Simple sentences like that help your brain practice forming words quickly.
That's actually really easy. What's next?
Second, read out loud. Don't just read silently. When you read a sentence, say it out loud. This connects your eyes, brain, and mouth. It helps you learn how words sound and feel when you say them.
So I could read a news article or even a social media post out loud.
Yes, even 5 minutes a day makes a difference.
Okay, I can do that. What's the third tip?
Third, record yourself speaking and listen back. This is very uncomfortable at first, but it's very powerful. You'll notice your mistakes, you'll hear where you hesitate, and over time, you'll improve.
What should I talk about when I record?
Anything. Introduce yourself, talk about your day, answer a common interview question like, tell me about yourself. Keep it short. 1 or 2 minutes is enough.
And I just listen to it and try again?
Exactly. You'll start to notice patterns. Maybe you always forget a certain word, or you speak too fast. Once you know your weak points, you can work on them.
That makes sense. What else?
Fourth, think in English, not in your native language. This is a big one. Most people translate in their head before speaking. That takes time and makes you slower.
But how do I stop translating? It happens automatically.
Start small. When you see an object, name it in English. When you feel an emotion, describe it in English. Train your brain to go directly to English without passing through your native language first.
So if I see a cup of coffee, I just think coffee, not translate it from my language.
Exactly. The more you do this, the faster your brain will work in English.
Okay, I like these tips. They're very practical. Is there a fifth one?
Yes. Find a speaking partner or join a speaking group. You don't need a teacher, you just need someone to practice with. It could be a friend, a classmate, or even someone online.
What if I don't know anyone who speaks English?
There are free apps and websites where you can find language exchange partners. You help them with your language and they help you with English. It's free and very effective.
That's really helpful. So the key is just to speak more, even if it's not perfect.
Exactly. Progress matters more than perfection. Every time you speak, you're building your active memory, you're training your brain, and slowly, speaking becomes easier and more natural.
I feel like this is something I can actually start doing today.
You absolutely can, and you should, because the longer you wait, the bigger the gap becomes.
Right, so let's just recap everything we talked about today.
Good idea.
First, understanding and speaking are two different skills. Just because you can understand English doesn't mean you can speak it automatically.
Correct. Understanding is passive, speaking is active.
Second, most of your English knowledge is in passive memory. You need to move it to active memory by practicing speaking.
Yes, and that takes intentional practice, not just watching and listening.
Third, fear and lack of confidence stop many people from speaking, but the only way to build confidence is to practice, even if you make mistakes.
Mistakes are part of learning. They're not something to be ashamed of.
And finally, there are simple, practical things you can do every day. Talk to yourself, read out loud, record yourself, think in English, find a speaking partner.
Those 5 steps alone can change everything if you do them consistently.
I really believe that, and I hope everyone listening feels motivated to start today.
Me too, because the truth is, you already have the knowledge. You just need to activate it.
I love that. You already have the knowledge. You just need to activate it.
And it doesn't take years. Even a few weeks of daily practice can make a noticeable difference.
So if you're listening right now and you've been stuck in this cycle, this is your sign to break free.
Start small, start today, and be patient with yourself.
Before we wrap up, I want to say thank you for being here. I know it's not always easy to admit when something feels hard, but taking the time to learn and improve is something you should be proud of.
Absolutely. And remember, every fluent speaker you see today was once a beginner too. They all struggled, they all made mistakes, but they kept going.
That's such an important reminder. You're not behind, you're just on your own journey.
Well said.
So take what we talked about today and try it out. See what works for you. And if you want more tips like this, make sure you come back for the next episode.
We'll be talking about another common career challenge that many people face but don't know how to solve.
I'm already looking forward to it. Until then, take care of yourself, keep learning, and don't be afraid to speak.
Even if your voice shakes, even if you stumble, just speak.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more daily podcast video.
See you next time.